Good evening and welcome to the Australian Institute of Sport for midweek National Women's Premier League action. It is 2 versus 3. Canberra Croatia and Canberra Olympic going toe-to-toe. Well, it was 2 versus 3 before last night when Gungahlin United got across the line, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. My name is Russ Gibbs. Joining me for this match between Canberra Olympic and Canberra Croatia is Ian Worthington. Ian, welcome to the AIS on a beautiful night for football.
It's a beautiful evening, isn't it? You can see the Telstra Tower lit up in the background. The pitch is looking immaculate. I don't know what it looks like on the screen because maybe it might come across as a bit dry, but it's not. It's excellent. It's flat. But there's just been a game on it before, which I'm sure you'll go about. But both teams actually excited to play on here tonight, and we spoke with a lot of the girls before the game.
Absolutely, we did, and it's going to be an exciting match. I mean, let's talk about the table before we go any further. Buckhorn United, congratulations. 20 points clear to get it done. They're well away and over the hill. Canberra Croatia on 28 points in second. Gungahlin United, having played 16 games, that's 3 more than Croatia, on 27 points after they won 4-0 against Tuggeranong United last night. Dropped them above Canberra Olympic, who have 2 games in hand starting tonight on the same amount of points, but a goal difference of only plus 26 compared to plus 33. Then West Canberra Wanderers from 16 games on 26 points. Maths isn't my strong point. We all know that, Ian. We've talked about that for a long time. But by my calculations, there's 5 teams and only 4 final spots, and that doesn't work, does it?
Definitely not. And it's, well, first of all, congratulations to Belconnen United. Emphatic, they've been excellent all year. Had the joy to see them on a few occasions and thought they've been fabulous. So well done to Scott Conlon and his players. Also saw Steve Rowan-Jones the other day in the cafe, and he's saying how well his girls are doing this year as well. So as you say, you know, 5 teams for 4 places, and it's going to be an exciting end to the season, minus the champions, who have already got it done and dusted.
But they can still have a part to play in this. We spoke to Scott Conlon earlier today, didn't we? Just walking around here, he's watching this one. Their team have got an undefeated season in their sights, and they won't want to slack off at any stage either. So that will keep things busy till the end of the year and interesting for them as well. Men's Premier League last night, Monero Panthers 1, Tigers FC 2. Tigers move to within 5 points of Canberra Croatia, 3 games to go. Panthers 9 points behind. They could still mathematically win the league, Ian, but it need Canberra Croatia to lose all their games, Tigers to lose 2 of theirs, and a goal swing of about 16 or 17, which seems unlikely for the Panthers, but they're in a good position to make finals.
Well, we were together at Strider Park on Saturday, and Monero were great. You know, always looked like they were going to win the game against O'Connor Knights, but last night they came up against a side. I thought every one of them was brilliant. You know, we've seen a lot of people actually today, haven't we? But yeah, we saw Noah Steiner before, Steinecker, and Noah's having a great run of form at the moment. Popovic comes on and scores the goal, you know, that he did. The midfield's looking great. I always give a message out to the left backs, and of course he's always playing well, and doing
we
fabulous.
Mentioned last night,
Shandon
asked if he was a Canberra boy, and I didn't know the answer to this question. But Shandon White had sent me a message today. He said he was actually born in South Africa and lived there for quite some time before coming here. So very much not a Canberra boy, but has played most of his football in this part of the world. So there you go.
Oh, you should have asked me. I knew that ages ago.
Well, you weren't there, were you?
No.
You were too busy doing whatever you were doing last night with Tigers as a technical director.
Yep. 4 teams on the AIS synthetic.
Absolutely.
Also, by the way, what a facility that is that Tigers are fortunate enough to be going on. The new synthetic surface at the AIS is absolutely brilliant.
Some of them over there tonight, I understand, for the Pathway for the Girls programme. They'll be over there. Maybe they'll pop over and watch the end of this one if they get the opportunity. Let's have a look at the 2 teams then, starting with Canberra Olympic. Frank Cacius picked a 4-3-3 formation. Janet King will be in goal. The back 4 will see Liana Alves at right back. Natalia Cern, the youngster, at left back. Corinne Denton partners Katrina Peric in central defence. Elise Jensen, Jane Van Zeno and Maddie Keisha are becoming the usual triumvirates in midfield. Up top, there's a return for Tiana Mirror on the right. Tatum Marzi's down the middle, and Olivia Gurney got a hat-trick against Tuggeranong on the weekend, retains her place. On the bench, Nikita Perry, Sienna Burney, Taylor Hampson and Yelena Josipovic alongside Tia Burridge, who just played in the reserves and has been called up into the first-grade squad. Still on the bench in the absence of Maddie Whittle, who rang in sick this morning.
Yeah, we've just watched Tia play, haven't we? In fact, we've watched Olympics, reserves play before. They were very impressive. Shout out to Darcy, who played out on the right-hand side. I think she got a couple of goals as well from what we saw, and I thought she's doing really well with that step up into the reserves now, so well done to her. But strong Olympic women's first-grade side tonight, Ross. I think they've got a big chance here.
Canberra Croatia, well, we'll see what they go with. On paper, it looks like a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 if you want to go like that, but it might not line up along those lines. We'll see what Musialongo does. What we do know is Ellie Summers will start in goal for the 50th time in the Women's National Premier League tonight. Congratulations, Ellie Summers, on reaching that milestone. If it is three across the back, we expect it to be Sophia Mercurius, Luella Coleman and Tiana Boots. Riley McQueenie and Eliza Jane Norris will provide the width out wide as wing-backs, with a midfield trio of Jamie Berkeley, Michaela Thornton and Isabella Barach as a number 10, behind a front two of Riley Ewan and Brittany Palombi in the continued absence of April Hill, who's struggling with an ankle injury. Angelina Babic, Letitia Babic, Hannah Burke, Ellie Raymond and Saskia Newman are on the bench.
Yeah, front two it looks like, doesn't it? And that's what they're going to go with. I know that they've had a couple of players missing. Riley McQueenie says she's going to get all the goals tonight, so that's a big shout from her.
Not like Riley McQueenie to be full of confidence.
No, absolutely not. She did it without swearing as well, which is actually pretty impressive for her. But and also we're going to have to get our head round that it's Lulu Colbert actually played centre back, because that's all I know her as. And of course, you've pronounced her,
Luella,
as
in her name,
as in her actual name, yeah. And some Troy Boots has just turned up behind us. I don't know whether he knows we're live or not.
No, he's turned up with my Wallabies British and Irish Lions programme that he was going to bring, that I was supposed to get off him tomorrow. He braved that wind and rain and everything the other week down in Sydney, and the game that the Wallabies won, which was a dead rubber. The Lions won the series 2-1.
That was the no one cares game he paid an absolute fortune for.
That's it.
And it nearly got lightninged off. Anyway, thanks for me cap, mate.
And thanks for the match programme, Troy. That's very much appreciated.
But it's actually all about your daughter tonight, not you, so off your toddle.
He's wandered away. Yeah, so we're expecting that in the back three as well. We are waiting for Canberra Croatia. I don't know what's holding them up over there at the moment. Haven't even made their way to the field. They're on their way right now. Ricardo Alberto is the man in the middle. Ibrahim Al-Salhi and Andrew Forster will be the assistants for this one. This will be the 21st time the two teams have met in the NPLW era. Croatia have won 11, Olympic have won 6. The other three matches have been drawn. In the previous 20 games, there have been 89 goals scored between the teams. Croatia have scored 60 to Olympics 29. 11 Croatia home matches in the series in the NPL. Both teams have claimed 5 wins apiece. One match has been a draw. Earlier this season, of course, they met only a couple of weeks ago in round 15. Canberra Olympic trailing by 2-1. April Hill scored both that night for Croatia. They will play again in a couple of weeks as well, these two. They've got a mini-series, and there's a half a chance in that they're going to meet each other in finals as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I remember, I don't know whether she'll be watching tonight or not, but when I worked with Di Wilson at Radford, we seemed to have this constant conversation where Canberra Croatia were playing Canberra Olympic again.
Yeah, they'll be sick to the sight of each other by the end of the competition. But they will go again tonight. There was a little bit of feistiness the last time these two met as well, wasn't there? There was a sending off of Ella Brown later in the contest, and there was a few challenges going in. It was just on the right side of being a very interesting contest.
That's nicely put. I was intrigued. It was a good competitive game, and nice atmosphere, and everyone getting behind the two teams, and hopefully, whilst in control and everyone behaves, we're in for another good evening. When we start. Well, CFC have decided to turn up, which is a good thing. I thought they'd stayed in the dressing room.
Well, the first thing I have to say here, and you can probably see it on the screen, that these floodlights here aren't the best. It is slightly dull across the field, and your screen is probably brighter than ours because of the magic of Michael's camera and the brightness he brings to it. But it is a little bit dull, so bear with us if players get lost on the far side in the corners. But there is no wind to speak of here tonight. Beautiful evening. You had a great preparation, didn't you, Ian? Well, with some chicken?
Protein. Yeah, I'm on a bit of a diet at the moment, mate. So I went with chicken with potatoes. I went with this evening.
I also went chicken with potatoes.
Covered in lots of
herbs and
spices and made by the Colonel. Yeah, so other than that, pretty good. But we do look a nice foodie chat whilst we're commentating on both the men and the women. So
of course,
those who don't listen to us all the time can maybe enjoy our football chat and the nonsense that we may chat along the way.
Most people are at home getting their dinner sorted right now. In any case, there's another game playing tonight in the Capital Premier League. Just started. Canberra White Eagles playing ANU, third against sixth in that competition. We'll keep you across that one as and when the goals go in, if they do indeed. The reserves here, I think, finished 3-0, didn't it?
We thought it was 3-0, yeah. Darcy Colson with
Olympic,
a couple.
Yeah, Olympic beating Canberra Croatia. Big win for them in that competition. I could tell you the goals have gone in already in the Capital Premier League. It's taken less than a minute for ANU to take the lead. Canberra White Eagles 0, ANU 1. A good start to them. Life for the university students tonight. Didn't think it was going to end 0-0. And we're 5 minutes a bit later than scheduled. You got much on tomorrow, Ian? This 5 minutes going to hurt you?
No, probably not. Got a big session tomorrow night. 14s.
Football session, you mean?
16s, 18s. Yeah, football session. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to this. Tatum Marty gets us underway. And Janet King will send the first ball forward to Michaela Thornton, who was a bit late today because she was doing some work with the Raiders. Which is allowed, I guess, isn't it?
It's a great job for her, that. I think she really enjoys it.
The first chance for Canberra Croatia to get something going forward. Keisha picks it up for Canberra Olympic over on that far side in front of the benches. Young Natalia Cern is the left back. Under pressure immediately. Big day for the young Cern at fullback. Only her third start in the Premier League. Riley Ewan will be a very big task for the youngster.
We've heard some really good things about her, though, haven't we? Both Cern sisters progressing really, really nicely. And Frank Keisha, a big fan of the both of them.
Come off Berkeley as far as Miro. Kat Perich with the captain's armbands. The chance for Marty to sprint away. Croatia's win earlier this season between the teams broke a 6-game streak of having not defeated Canberra Olympic in the NPL. It's been a while since we'd seen a red victory over the Blues. Tiana Boots with the long throw. Perich has won the header. Franzino couldn't bring it in. Thornton will tidy up. First touch for 50 cap Ellie Summers. The goalkeeper bringing up that milestone this evening. Nice touch by McQueenie. Norris going to return the ball. Keisha. Boots across in front of Miro. Talking about challenges, that's going to be one for Tiana Boots against the Canberra United player.
Yeah, she'll be relishing that tonight. She covered round Lulu pretty well on that occasion, so good start for Tiana.
And Tiana Miro played her first Canberra United game in the Ninja A-League this year, and Tiana Boots is a big fan of the Canberra United team, isn't she? She goes to nearly all the games with her family.
Well, the family's been members and the season ticket holders for years, and Tiana Boots played at the academy for a little while as well, which is nice. But, yeah, two Tianas up against each other tonight. Should be a great little duel.
Wherever you look, there's duels all over the park. Interesting ones to keep an eye on. Here's Coleman. Curious, very experienced defender. McQueenie round the corner. What have you made of the shape so far, Ian, in terms of Canberra Croatia? Is it 3 at the back?
I don't think so, no. I think that is EJ over the other side.
Yep.
I think that looks like a 4 to me at the moment with Tiana Boots playing left back here. Coleman and Mercurius playing as 2 centre-backs, so that looks like a 4. And then, not surprisingly, Michaela Thornton just holding there in midfield in front of him. It almost looks like a 4-1-4-1 when in possession of the ball.
Here's Palombi on that left foot looking to send it in. Perich was in the way. Alves He's done well this season. Likes to get stuck into the challenges. Appreciated by the Canberra Olympic fans who are down to our left. Canberra Croatia more to our right. Thornton. Bella Barac finds Thornton. Loose one from her, the midfielder.
What about the touch from Bella Barac, though? Just brought it down and just moved it on so brilliantly, as we've seen her do so many times before. She plays extremely well in tight spaces.
Yeah, one of the best technicians we have in the women's game in Canberra. Thornton's not sure where that is, but it's fallen nicely for Barac after Coleman got involved. Denton. Here's Alves. Miro.
It's just a little bit tight down this left-hand side for Croatia here, but if you look the other side of the pitch, they're really taking a gamble on Riley McQueenie, just who's basically stood by herself out there. If Thornton or Barac can get on the switch, then she's in.
Might happen now with Barac.
Good recovery back from the left-hand side, though, from Olympic.
Mercurius can bring it forward. Norris hugging the touchline. Looking for McQueenie. Natalia Cern was there with her. Canberra Olympic will be in action again next Wednesday against Belconnen United. What should be a cracking match. It's Wednesday the 20th of August, and the best news I heard about that, because I'm on that game, Ian, was that was supposed to be at Woden Park, and now it's been switched to McKellar. Under the lights.
You announced that you wanted to hug Scott Collins.
I did, and I did
and
give
then
him a
give him a hug.
And especially when he said the canteen would be open.
It was quite a moment.
Very emotional moment for me.
On AIS Field 1.
Yeah, it was very emotional. The canteen will be open next Wednesday at McKellar. Get yourself down there. It's going to be a cracking game. Tiana Miro. And you can understand that because you've commentated with me at Woden Park. It's not the greatest of venues, is it, when it's cold and we're right in the middle there. Michael's been on camera duty there as well. It's very exposed, put it that way.
It is on the edge of the athletics track, but I think it's more about how nice it is and how good it is to commentate at McKellar Park as well.
That's also that.
Particularly a great little place. I mean, it's up there with the best. It's a bit different to the Hawker Tower, that's for sure.
That's your favourite, the Hawker Tower, isn't it? But you were lucky enough not to be on this one when it was the old death trap, 100 foot in the air.
The Hawker Tower, I still have sleepless nights about that. I don't know how the cameraman gets up and down there. I was going to say safely. Definitely not safely.
Oh, they've got a winch and a ladder.
What is it, the 1800s?
It's something like that. We don't go there very often. It's one of our venues that we go to with the AstroTurf when the grass is shut. Anyway, we're here at the AIS tonight, and this pitch is in very good nick indeed. Palombi for Croatia onto that left foot. Quite ridiculous record of 207 National Premier League games and 205 goals for Britt Palombi. Not a bad record, is it?
It's absolutely fantastic. I've watched her over the last few years, but I believe that before I certainly arrived at here, she was also pretty... well, she must be. It's a pretty amazing record, isn't it?
Well, she's that driven by that record that she's absolutely fuming that she's not a goal a game. So keep an eye out for that before the end of the season. Riley Ewan to swing it in, comes off the back of Denton. Acacia pops it off for the centre-back to send one out to that left-hand side. And a chase for Olivia Gurney, who's going to get there first. Only Marzi in the middle at the moment. Happy to slow things down, Cern. In the big win over Tuggeranong on the weekend, Nikita Perry's on the bench, created a couple of goals. There's the first shot of note. Straightforward enough for Eddie Summers. Elise Jensen caught it sweetly. Nikita Perry put over 2 beautiful crosses for the first 2 goals on the weekend against Tuggeranong down at Canberra. Alves, great challenge by Palombi. 3-on-4 in favour of the blue, though. Here's Palombi. Look at Jink inside as well, and gets a shot away too. And there's a little snapshot of what Palombi brings to the party.
It was a great run. I think it was a lovely little decoy from Riley Ewan as well that opened the gap for her to run through, and just collected very well by Janet King.
Summers comes to meet that through ball. Berkeley looking to swing one towards Palombi. Appeals for offside from the Canberra Olympic faithful. I don't think the flag's going up. It is now.
Why did they let her run 30 yards when it's already offside? That rule drives me mad. Just put your flag up.
Don't they have to make a run towards the ball or be within playing distance or something?
Was she making a run towards the ball more than anybody else?
But was she in playing distance of the ball?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She definitely was. Ask Britt Palombi how she fancies in a game that she fancies running 40 yards for a ball for someone to stick the flag in the air. I mean...
It was offside though, yeah?
Yeah, so stick your flag up. Still offside now.
Until the game starts again.
Until Janet kicks this ball. Now she's not offside anymore. Crazy rule.
Is it as bad as a goalkeeper not taking their own goal kicks though?
No.
No.
It's up there, though. It's up there. It's on my list, Russ.
Of things you don't like about football.
And that's a big long list.
Goalkeepers not taking goal kicks, late flags for offside, and goals.
Yeah, conceding goals, that's top.
Just goals. You just don't like goals. give me a Dower 0-0 every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the point.
Great challenge by Thornton to win it back. The chance for Norris on the overlapping run. Full of confidence, EJ Norris. McQueenie clips one in towards Ewan. Tries to turn. And Corinne Denton took it away. Good start this by Canberra Croatia, though.
Yeah, and Denton might have a work cut out with Riley Ewan there. Just great to have Riley Ewan back playing football, to be honest. It was, with her not signing at Belconnen, she was going to have a bit of a time off, but I'm glad she's back in a shirt of any kind, really, and just back on the pitch.
Most people in football would agree with you. Central defenders of the National Premier League, perhaps not.
Denton started well.
Is a handful, Riley Ewan.
She is, absolutely.
Balach looks for Palombi. Allowed to turn. A bit fortunate with this spin again, but finds Balach. Here is Ewan. Wants to take on Denton, and that's the pace that she brings to it. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. Arm across, apparently, says Ricardo Alberto. Palombi's not convinced.
And ref's just like, he looks like a puppeteer with his gloves on now, doesn't he? He's like, he's put her arms, he's making something up there, right? He's saying that he's got both arms around her, and that did not happen.
I think that looked more 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Pushed it around and got round the other side. It's brilliant attacking play. And Palombi might get herself a yellow if she keeps doing this. But
doesn't agree with the decision, but it's been given now, so let's just get on with it. Riley Ewan didn't complain too much.
I agree with Palombi.
And this is a man who doesn't like goals.
Yeah, so it must be right.
Ewan's got away from Alves and kept it in, bit between the teeth, and has a pop as well. And skips on through, but Riley Ewan looks in the mood.
When she's in the mood, teams generally fear her, don't she? Don't they?
They do indeed. Decent record herself, 29 Premier League goals in 67 games. As Ian alluded to earlier, wasn't going to play this season. Made the move in June to sign up. Since then has played a couple of starts, 3 off the bench, scored a goal as well. Cern over there on the far side. Denton to clip it forward. Miro and Gurney have switched wings for the moment, and Tiana Miro is going to pick up a loose ball here and find Tatum Marzi. He tries to roll one through for Gurney. Boots did well to get in the way. Alves can keep the attack going. Gurney at the stretch, ditto Boots. Now Palombi. Liana Alves bustling away. Finds Vanzino. And then there's a collision between Vanzino and Britt Palombi. And I think both of them left their ankles in the ground there. That's a nasty one for both, Ian.
I'm only pausing just because I'm looking if they're both all right. They're both looking at each other wondering what's gone on there. It was really odd, wasn't it?
I think both went for the ball and neither got it. So put a toss-up in the air as to who gets the decision here, because I don't think either of them actually played the ball. They played each other. I might be wrong.
Linesman Andrew Forster's having a chat. He's just saying it's a coming together. I can see that with his hand signals here.
Can't disagree with it either. I don't think there was a foul in there.
I didn't hear any contact, and whoever he gives the free kick against is obviously going to have something to moan about. It might be the old-fashioned drop ball here.
Yeah, I don't think there was a foul involved here, and I think there was just two people both missed the ball and got each other, so you can't really give a free kick there. We're going to get contested drop ball? Surely not.
No. I'd contest that, though. Yeah.
No harm done in the end.
Yeah, I don't know how happy Frank Casey would be that he's let them out so early. They're back on Olympic.
Balach to turn in midfield again. And find Palombi, who's peeled away from a marker. Flag stays down and cuts inside. And looks to tee one up. And it might come on the far post. It's a super hit. It's come off the crossbar. I think it was Curious up front. Who was that from? Riley McQueenie, was it? Oh, no, Jamie Berkeley, my apologies, over on that far side. Who thundered the shot in. And it had Janet King beaten, and the woodwork rattled. Here's Coleman. Finds Boots. Palombi's ball in. Found Berkeley coming in on it. Couldn't have hit it any sweeter.
Well, the pass down the side to the left from Isabella Barrett was brilliant. The cross was excellent. And then the strike, well, she couldn't have done much better. Rattled the crossbar, hasn't it? Did you say it was Jamie Berkeley?
It was Berkeley, yeah.
She had a bit of a swap with Riley McQueenie at that point and still stays out there. But it was a fantastic strike from Jamie Berkeley.
Palombi over the free kick, left-footed. Launches one in towards King, who comes rather flaps at it. Janet King decided to punch rather than catch. And the break might be on for Marzi. Palombi doing the defensive work. And winning the free kick as well. Canberra Croatia appear to have settled the better of the two at the moment.
They're just really up for the fight, aren't they? Palombi that time.
Croatia have won 4 of the last 5 matches. Before last weekend, they scored 27 goals in 4 games before they were beaten 1-0 by Belconnen United. Been in really good form. Palombi again to lift it into the danger zone. Coleman had gone forward. I wasn't able to get on the end of it, though. You're watching live OPC NPL women's competition, 2nd versus 4th as we started today. Table as it stands is 2nd versus 3rd. Canberra Olympic would get the point they need to go back above Gungahlin. Tiana Boots with a throw. Long way to go, though. We've only played 18 minutes. Miro. Looking for Marzi. Free kick goes away. Olympic this time. Right in front of the bench, the Canberra Croatia bench. I'd like to tell you what that's for, but it's so far away. Denton will take this. Lift it into the box. Good looking ball towards Vanzino. It was well met as well. Kayla Thornton defensively nodding it away for the first corner for Canberra Olympic. Here come the cavalry from the back.
Looks like a left-footed outswinger from the far side.
Gurney who sweeps it in. Half-hearted shouts for a penalty. Well, it's been given. There was a few shouts from Canberra Olympic players. Ricardo Alberto had a long, hard think about it and then points to the spots. And Canberra Olympic have the chance to break the deadlock. Ian Worthington.
To be fair to the referee, he had a good look at that for a couple of seconds, didn't he, to make his mind up. But as the ball's gone in, we thought it was a bit under-delivered in the first place. But as it's bounced up, it's hit the player's right hand. And you'll probably have to tell me who, because there was a bit of a crowd of players. So maybe we'll find out at a later date. But I couldn't actually see through who handballed it.
It's Tiana Miro from the spot, though, for Olympic. And fires it home into the bottom corner. Summers went the right way. Might have got a piece of it, but not enough. And 20 minutes in, it's Canberra Olympic who lead from the spots.
Ellie Summers guessed the right way, goes down to her right-hand side, but it was very, very sweetly struck by Tiana Miro. And, 1-0 Olympic.
Third goal of the season for Miro. The goal for Canberra Olympic. Last time these two met at this venue, of course, was a cup semi-final, Ian. It's a good ball down the back. Here's a chance for Palombi to have a shot. Into the side netting. Almost a response.
I was just checking to see whether Janet King got her right hand to that then, but seemingly not. It must have just hit the side netting. But another great ball out to the left-hand side, and Palombi loves those balls to run onto.
So I think it might be a cup quarter-final I'm thinking of last year, over on that pitch over there. Here's Miro. Wants to have a pop. It's a good effort. It's a cracking effort. It's a stunning goal from Tiana Miro. 2 in no time for her. And Canberra Olympic, out of the blue, have a second. And it's a thing of beauty.
I feared for Canberra Croatia as soon as Miro got the ball on that right-hand side and cut in onto that sweet right foot. Didn't she hit it so well into the top right-hand corner of Ellie Summers' goal to put them 2-0 up. And, took a little bit longer to get into the game, Olympic, and you could say that Canberra Croatia started the better. But it's Olympic that lead 2-0.
Cut inside and buried it in the top corner. A thumping finish. And Tiana Miro doubles her season tally in the space of about 90 seconds. And Canberra Olympic, well, they've been on the back foot in terms of territory and possession in the opening 20 minutes. And now they find themselves 2-0 up and searching for more. Jensen looks to clip one through. Not a lot the goalkeeper could do about that, Ian.
Oh, it was a fantastic finish. Absolutely great strike. Miro just really showing a class there, hasn't she?
I think it was Maddie Keisha's pass that put Miro in for the second goal. I can check that for you at half-time. But what a 90 seconds for the supporters of the team in blue. And Tiana Miro, who made, as I mentioned before, made an Indra-League debut this year, showing her quality. There's Gurney. Confidence now flowing through the Canberra Olympic team. It's amazing how a goal can change the mood, Ian.
Certainly has. And Canberra Croatia just look a little bit stretched through midfield. Maddie Keisha gets on the ball, just dropping into that area from the striker position. And I think you're right. I think she then plays the ball out to Miro, and I think both centre-backs just stayed off, but one didn't go with her. And that allowed, I presume it was allowed Keisha to turn and put Miro in.
When she needed to finish, found one from the top draw. All of Croatia got in response. Palombi over yet another free kick. Delivery's not bad into the danger area. Nodded away. And now Tatum Marzi. One back by Palombi. Breaks kindly for Barac. Here's Berkeley, who hit the bar earlier, remember? Came off the heel of Jensen. And a heap of space for Keisha to slide one through.
Tell you what, there's that little pocket of space that Keisha gets into again. It's brilliant forward play.
Marzi's offside.
Yeah, Marzi's just offside. But when the game's stretched like that, you know, Canberra Croatia need to decide whether they're going up on the press and come up as a back four, or they just drop off and stay a bit compact. But at the moment, you've almost got a front four and a drop four, and you're allowing Maddie Keisha as much time she wants to get on the ball.
How bizarre is football? Moments before, Jamie Berkeley thunders that effort against the crossbar, and well, less than 5 minutes later, they find themselves 2-0 behind.
And I don't think we'd be wrong in saying that it would have been what Canberra Croatia deserves if they would have gone 1-0 up, because they've had the lion's share of possession.
They've had the shots as well, haven't they? Had the ball in the net, although superficially so, because Riley Ewan had already been pulled back for a foul, which you didn't feel was a foul. You take that away, and you add the crossbar and a penalty that's been given against you, they might feel it's not their night at the moment. Gurney's onside here. The ball in's brilliant. Here's Marzi, should have been 3. Got goal sides, and it was missing the finishing touch.
Well,
Keisha came in on the far post, couldn't provide it either, but really, Tatum Marzi should have been burying that.
The ball from Gurney was perfect. It's just inviting a striker to walk onto it and pass it into the goal. And that's what we were expecting from Tatum Marzi from there.
They're giving it away again. Coleman this time. It's Gurney to hit one. And Canberra Croatia, well, not exactly shell-shocked, but they are rocking.
But if we were to freeze, and I know that Muzzy can't do that, we were to freeze the game here right now and just see when Canberra Olympic get in control of the ball, there's no compact defending whatsoever. They're completely stretched. I know Berkeley's trying to get on the ball whenever she can, and it's great when they're in possession. She gets on it there. But as soon as Canberra Olympic get back on the ball, they're too stretched.
Palombi finds Barac. Thought about the hit. Could tee one up for McQueenie to send it in. There's Palombi. Couldn't turn it away. It's a very open contest, this. Feels more like basketball at the moment, end-to-end stuff. Midfield appears to be optional. Gurney, lovely ball over the top. Marzi might be in again. Mercurius comes to cover. Olivia Gurney's got the bit between the teeth as well. I mentioned that about Riley Ewan earlier. Gurney likewise. And that's another loose possession from those in a red shirt who've been the architects of their own downfall on many occasions so far. Riley Ewan. Cern steps in. Must be frustrating for the coaching staff.
Great little pocket of space again. Vanzino getting in there. But
Alves, Gurney. Palombi's done an awful lot of defending tonight.
Gurney's decision-making in wide areas is brilliant. Decisions to get the ball across or combine in that final third.
So we can see it from here in that the pockets of space that you're mentioning that Keisha's dropping into, that Vanzino's dropping into, at least Jensen's getting in there as well. How do they combat that without giving away what they want to do in an attacking sense themselves?
Oh, you just got to get your defensive shape as a platform and play then from there. So you look over the other side of the pitch, and I don't know if it's being asked of or not, but Riley McQueenie's having absolutely no impact defensively by stood 50, 60 metres out on the right-hand side.
Gurney stepped across.
Barac is by herself when it breaks down.
I believe that goal earlier on for ANU was chalked off, and now White Eagles have taken the lead in that CPL game. White Eagles 1, ANU 0. Canberra Olympic here lead by 2. Jensen looking for the runner Miro. Right idea, pass didn't quite have the angle on it. Coleman, Mercurius. Coleman again. Here comes the press.
Yeah, you could see it as soon as that ball went up in the air. And
played around it this time, Canberra Croatia. Balac, Riley Ewan turns away and slides a wonderful ball through for Thornton, who might be in here. King, though, was caught late. No flag, though, or whistle. There will be now, because both are down, getting themselves up at the moment. Good goalkeeping from Janet King.
And we've talked about good forward play from Maddie Casey, dropping in and getting on the half turn and playing forward. Riley Ewing's pass then was sublime.
And looked for a moment that Thornton was going to be away on it, didn't she? When she turned away. And it was a really good piece of goalkeeping here from King that came out to get it and was caught on the follow-through. Canberra Olympic have named a goalkeeper amongst the subs tonight in Jelena Josipovic, should she be required. Janet King playing a 97th National Premier League game, though. It takes a lot to knock her off her stride.
Just one of those balls that lands in the middle, and Michaela Thornton's not going to go for that, is she? Of course she do. She's a tenacious player with a fabulous past. You know, and her experience tells her that that's a ball that she can try and get to. Janet King comes off a line well, also a very good player, and it's a coming together. Like, if there's a little bit of one later than the other, there's no malice in it.
One of them's got to get there first. Before tonight, Croatia had only conceded 3 goals in their last 5 games. Just goes to show what Olympic have done in that space of 90 seconds. Denton. Touch from Keisha. Cern. Keisha again. They look full of confidence here, don't they, Canberra Olympic?
Well, yeah, they do now. The game's nice and open for them to play in.
Missing a couple of their more storied players tonight as well. Maddie Whittle, Tara Aspland, of course. That's a beautiful touch by Marzi, who's gone for goal. Just went past the post. I'm sure there'll be some very interested observers from Balconing United tonight. Watching what they would expect to be their 2 closest challengers, I would imagine. At the moment, Canberra Croatia, well, they still seem to be half asleep in some of their distribution. McQueenie won the head up.
Well, those couple of goals just killed them because they were playing well. They started really well, Russ. Even when the second goal went in, it was...
Some of the passing's just been a bit sloppy, isn't it? King will come and get there. Jensen. Rather bounced it into Vanzina. Balac has it for Croatia. We'll try and find McQueenie. Does well to keep it in. Does exceptionally well to turn away. And goes down under the challenge. Right on the edge of the box. There's a yellow card coming out here. I think it's Alves.
I think she tried getting in the box, McQueenie, hasn't she, and winning the penalty, and she's done brilliantly well. Great little turn, a bit of skill, and then drives into the box. And I just think she was hoping that she was going to get fouled inside the box, and seemingly from here it's not. It's just right on the outside, and feel a bit sorry for Riley McQueenie there. It was a great effort.
Did brilliantly to keep it in the first instance. The little turn to come inside was superb, and then Leona Alves knew she was beaten. And concedes a free kick and the yellow card. Palombi will take. 12 minutes to the interval.
Looks like it's an outswinger, which surprises me slightly. Maybe get bodies in the box, but I might be proved wrong.
Boots has taken up a really nice position here. If Palombi wants to go there, chips it towards that far post over the head of everybody. Thornton tries to turn. Olympic managed to clear. Frank Asia will be very happy with what he's seen, I think. In the opening half of this one. Balac. What we do know is there's plenty of goals in this Canberra Croatia outfit. And they will feel this is far from being done. 2-goal leads can evaporate very quickly, can't they? And look at Wrexham last night in the Cup. 3-1 against Hull into stoppage time. 3-1 down, scored a couple of goals from Ollie Palmer, got themselves a penalty shootout.
Yeah, they won on penalties, didn't they? Decent ball down the side again from Tiana Boots that time. And I think that's where Canberra Croatia are finding a little bit of joy on the outside of the Olympic back line. But as the ball comes in, Olympic are dealing with it very well.
Boots will take this throw. Hammered clear as far as Coleman.
It's on ball, that.
Yeah, Gurney gave herself up. Yet another free kick and yet another chance to load this into the penalty area for Palombi.
Coleman, no, Palombi again. And Coleman's actually going into the box, isn't she?
Makes more sense. Well, for the first time, Britt Palombi will use that cannon of a left foot to drop it into a danger area. And as I say that, shanks it horribly.
Oh, sadly, commentators cursed that, wasn't it? But a rarity, isn't it, from her?
Yeah, usually puts it on the money. Janet King's gone a-wandering.
Yeah, she's hardly time-wasting because she's actually trying to get after the ball, but I think it's just gone in a little trough behind the...
You can't get under the nets.
No.
Need a commando underneath rolling through. Ten minutes to play to the interval.
I bet Dustin Wells would get beyond underneath it, wouldn't he, from what Scott Conlon was saying about him before?
Absolutely.
Absolute machine.
He'd be up the tree and swinging from side to side.
Front and back within 2 minutes.
Yeah, 42 years old as well. Dear, oh
You're suggesting he might be Tarzan.
Well, I mean, I don't think you've ever seen Dustin Wells and Tarzan in a room together, so who knows?
Could just sorted out his end of season fancy dress costume.
His daughter's having a great season.
Well, I think that's why we're discussing him, isn't it?
Yeah, we were talking earlier on about Scarlett Wells, 14 goals in the reserves. It's a great return. Palombi. So we chatted to Scott Conlon. That's we got onto the subject of Dusty Wells.
I'm not sure she'd be overly happy with her dad in a Tarzan outfit.
I mean, what's the point of having kids if you can't embarrass them every now and again? Is that right?
He's still embarrassing players every week.
He is. Still got the ability. They look like they might well be on their way to winning the CPL title as well. Balconing United.
Yeah, they could be on for a double, couldn't they, the men and the women? Of a sort.
Vanzino battling into the challenge. Good challenge by Balac in retaliation. And then rides another. Can't squeeze it past Denton.
Good defending again from Denton.
And recovers to get it back from Cern. Jensen helps it out to this near side for Alves. That's a good first-time ball for Marzi. Flag stays down, helps it on. Chance for three, just wide. Vanzino came in. Lovely move from Canberra Olympic. Probably deserved a goal.
The pace at the attack when they're on the break's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Real confidence.
And again, the only thing missing was the finish. A couple of times they've carved Croatia open and might well have scored a third goal. Marzi couldn't get the end of a Gurney pass, and Vanzino did. Off the flick on and just puts it wide.
Got a question, Russ.
You've got a question?
Yeah.
Is it a pressing question?
It was the question of why Lulu Coleman's just taken that goal kick as an outfield player and Ellie Summers hasn't.
I mean, that's a question I can't answer. It's a question for Ellie Summers and Lulu Coleman, perhaps. Tiana Boots with the throw. Clipped away. As far as boots again. Ewan. Thornton turns away from Vanzino. Can't squeeze that one through the gap, though. It was shut very quickly. Peric.
As good as the run was, I think EJ Norris had made a fantastic overlapping run on the right-hand side.
Good ball over the top, and Marzi broke the offside trap, but the angle of the ball always favoured Mercurius. Canberra Croatia been a little lackadaisical defensively.
Solid from Tiana Boots. Wee.
And that'll be a free kick and quite possibly a card. Peric might get away with it. Bearing in mind where it is on the park. But the touch from Bella Balac did Katrina Peric all ends up.
Absolutely it did, and I have seen many, many yellow cards for those type of challenges, no matter where they are on the pitch.
Might have got away with one there, Katrina Peric, which is probably useful for her. She's on 3. That would have suspended her. 4th yellow card of the campaign. But did not happen. Closing in on the final 5 minutes of the first half. Should be dealt with by Peric. Alves got there, but was beaten to it by Berkeley, who gets her shot away as well. Straight down the throat of King. Almost an error by Olympic at the back. Vanzino's touch finds Cern. Denton. Loose one from her. Balac picked it off. Now Riley Ewan. McQueenie. Looks for the left-footed ball over the top. That's well defended by Peric. Balac got one back. And will settle for the corner.
And as we're closing at the end of the first half, that's a decent ball by Riley McQueenie, just trying to turn the Olympic back line. Difficult balls to deal with.
Well, there's never a bad time to score a goal, Ian, is there? Well, a couple of minutes before the interval when you're 2-0 down. This would be right up there with the good times to get one back.
April was telling us before that 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, and rightly so.
I thought you were going to say April's a good time to score a goal. I'm not going to wait that long.
Any month.
Palombi to swing it into the penalty area. Ewan climbed highest. She did show us a bruised ankle earlier on, which looked a little bit sore, didn't it?
Well, that's what she was saying. I mean, she was also saying that she would have played tonight, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
But I think that's her enthusiasm.
Yeah, absolutely. If my ankle looked like that, I'd need about 6 weeks off.
You'd have season over for you, mate.
Absolutely. Mind you, I twist my ankle getting out of bed in the morning, so... Tiana Boots. Not you, though. You do a lot of swimming to strengthen your core.
I do one again this morning, mate. Yeah, go 4 times a week.
Yeah, absolutely. Sooner or later, it'll show.
Well, it won't when you're eating fried chicken and chips for your tea. So,
but I guess that's your cheat day after you've done your work, mate.
Cheat days, it's every day.
But you've worked out hard enough to burn off the calories, so you're only replacing what you've lost.
I've had chicken 3 times this week. Christian's birthday yesterday, so he loves his chicken and chips.
Well, happy birthday to Christian as well. What was the present of choice?
Oh, goodness. Flights to Perth. Going seeing his...
Fair enough.
and a VR headset. He's a lucky boy.
He certainly is.
A very lucky boy.
Flights to Perth in Frank Case's private jet. Unbelievable. Well, happy birthday, Christian, anyway. Hope you enjoy your VR headset. You had to go on it yet?
Yeah, he's got a football game on it.
Is it good?
It's brilliant.
I'll be round on the weekends.
I was playing in the Etihad yesterday. It was empty. It actually was.
Very realistic. Gurney. Can she swing one in? Third now would be the first half beyond their dreams, I believe, for Olympic. Cern has it back again. That's not a bad ball in.
The second pass was offside.
Yeah, just hidden behind us. Did you score in there, Etihad?
Do you know the robots we saw in the tour?
Well, yeah, they were like that.
Yeah, they've got that in goal.
I've definitely got to come and have a look at this.
So I was trying to kick a ball past him, and Christian showed me just go and kick the robot. I mean, maybe it's what 13-year-old boys do, but
fair play. Riley McQueenie, well defended.
It was amazing. For anyone who's got similar, then let us know how you go on it.
Brilliantly played by Thornton. Barach comes off the referee.
I think he's clapping the tackle there. And he's giving himself an handball. It's a yellow. Stopped an attack.
Well, it might have fallen to Riley Ewan, but Croatia aren't going to get the ball here. I think it'll go to Olympic, which would be a bit rough.
Because they had the last touch on the ball, right?
Well, Isabella Barach had the last touch, trying to let it back, I think.
Well, therefore it's a Croatia ball, isn't it?
I don't know.
Maybe referees can let us know. Anyway, the back.
Oh, no,
on
it wasn't.
the
Tell a lie. It did come off an Olympic player. Just watch the replay. It's cleared away. Might have been dropping to Riley Ewan, but it did come off an Olympic player last. Vanzino. One for Marzi to chase, and she will be a willing chaser. Coleman will go back with. Marzi got there first, and will hopefully, from her point of view, she'll settle for the corner.
It's a good recovery run, isn't it, from Lulu Coleman as well? Those real good turn of pace against Marzi, who's particularly quick.
We have now got stoppage time at the end of the first half. Marzi skips away from a couple. Couldn't get away from a third. Tiana Miro, whose goals are the difference. Whips one in towards the box. Thornton was there for Croatia. Mercurius. Norris outside. Went a bit further forward looking for Riley Ewan. Didn't quite come off the pass. But plenty of promise from Canberra Croatia. They could get themselves back into this, Ian. They're going to have to do so from 2-0 behind.
Yeah, so I think Canberra Croatia started the game really well. They moved the ball well, had the lion's share of possession as well. But 2 quick goals from Olympic, of which the second one was absolutely brilliant from Tiana Miro, has put Olympic 2-0 up. Now, towards the end of the first half, Canberra Croatia have got themselves back into it and continued to create chances for themselves. So it's going to be a very exciting second half.
Croatia started the better of the two sides, but in the space of 90 seconds found themselves 2 adrift. Tiana Miro from the penalty spot and then clumping in a cracker from outside the box into the top corner. And that's the difference between the two sides at the break here at the AIS. It's Canberra Olympic 2, Canberra Croatia 0. Welcome back to the AIS. We're at half-time. Canberra Olympic lead Canberra Croatia by 2 goals to 0. Tiana Miro with both of them. The first from the penalty spot. The second a cracker from open play. I'm Russ Gibson. Joining me for the second half, Ian Worthington. Welcome back, Ian. Good half-time natter as always with some people around. And how was your half-time as well?
Quite a few familiar faces, weren't there? It was quite nice having a catch-up with the Sanders family and the Boots.
A couple of Bootsies down there. Rhiannon Fenson was there as well.
The McQueenie parents are both watching her as Riley comes onto this near side now.
Well, let's have a look around the squad. I'm just seeing if there's any changes for both. I can't see any on Canberra Croatia's side, and I don't believe there's any on Canberra Olympic side. But correct me if you spot someone, Ian, but I think it's as you were in terms of the cast list. Plenty to do for Canberra Croatia. Keisha, ball over the top, immediately releases Tatum Marzi. Ball into the middle, was an overhit. A bright start to the second half for Canberra Olympic.
Again, it's the pace, how the attack on the break or the transition, isn't it? I suppose it wasn't really a break, but yeah, they're trying to hit Canberra Croatia with pace on the transition.
Norris pops it in field for Ewan. Berkeley, Norris. Ewan into the challenge on Jensen and then shove away. I think the arm was just a little too high for the push for Ricardo Alberto's liking.
I think it's just because she stepped away from the ball to do it, didn't she? It was a long step and she's protecting. She's trying to protect herself and the ball, but she steps into the player as opposed to steps with the ball.
No complaints from Ewan, was there? Denton sends it forward, helped on by Keisha. Gurney will chase. Flags up for offside. Second half started in the CPL. At half-time, it's White Eagles 1, ANU 0. White Eagles would be into 5th with a win tonight in the CPL. Final series in the CPL is very interesting. There's going to be plenty of good quality sides to look forward to watching. Likewise, in the Women's National Premier League top 4, the makeup of which we do not know what it will be, other than that Belconnen United will be in their qualification final as the league champions. One of these two favoured to join them. Or in the end, Coleman decided to make the choice for Summers. And bemoans perhaps the lack of communication, Ian.
They got right back on the front foot the second half, haven't they, Olympic already?
Seeking what might be a match-clinching third. Cern at the stretch, can't keep it in the field of play. Has been all or nothing for Olympic this year. They've either won or lost the 14 NPL games they've played prior to tonight. 9 wins, 5 losses. They don't do draws. They're losing a couple in a row. They've now managed to win their last 2. And they've scored 13 goals in the process before tonight. Croatia, meanwhile, has only lost 3 matches all season in 4 all competitions. Each of those were to Belconnen United. This will be something of a surprise. In terms of them losing again, they don't lose many.
It's a massive cliche, isn't it? But the team who scores next has got the opportunity to go ahead and win the game, I think, and they could kill it off if they score the next goal here, Olympic.
Nothing wrong with the football cliche, though, is there? We do enjoy them now and again. Ball through for the chase for Thornton. King got there first. Been a relatively quiet night for Janet King. She's had to field a lot of shots from distance. But then there's a goalkeeper who's been on the books of Canberra United the last summer season. You'd expect her to deal with that kind of shot. Boots and Miro, and then Riley Ewan thunders into the tackle. Gianna Miro just bounces off of Riley Ewan. Nana Alves doing a good job at a right back tonight. We've seen her play further forward this season. Combative young player. Palombi out on that left flank. Had a lot of touches in the first half, Britt Palombi, Ian, but hadn't been able to quite get her shot away of enough power to trouble the goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, you're right, not troubling the goalkeeper. She had a few shots on target, didn't she? But generally at Janet King, who looked after it quite comfortably.
Canberra Croatia, though, slowly eking their way into the contest in this second half. As I say that, they roll the ball out of play. Plenty of football this weekend, of course. 3 games in the Women's National Premier League. Belconnen will play Gungahlin at McKellar. Canberra Croatia hosts West Canberra Wanderers, an important game at Deakin. Canberra Olympic will travel to Ainsley to play Majura. And as I mentioned, next Wednesday, McKellar Park, Belconnen versus Canberra Olympic. As the games come thick and fast towards the end of the regular season, finals football will happen fairly soon. First weekend of September. Keisha couldn't quite send that towards Vanzino, otherwise she might have been clear. Riley Ewan back for Thornton. Of course, you can watch all the finals football of the OPC NPL on the Capital Football YouTube channel. That's a lovely ball forward by Coleman. Palombi released in behind. Did well to keep it in, but could only present it to Alves. Well, apparently he couldn't keep it in.
Difficult to see on this far side. Almost needs relining, doesn't it? I don't know whether it's the light that we're under, but
I can't see any lines on the pitch.
Difficult to see.
You can't even see the centre circle lines, can you?
No.
You know where they are, but they're in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
Ewan steps away. Now here's a chance. Can hit them, Riley Ewan. Does hit them. That's a cracker.
Yeah, what a goal that is.
Sensational finish from Riley Ewan. Took aim, let fly, pulls one back. Croatia back in the contest.
First of all, let's talk about the turn. She spun a player, puts the ball into space. The Olympic backline don't get out to press the ball quick enough, but the way she's hit that with her left foot, couldn't get any closer into the corner. And it's, look, she's such a good player when she's on form, and there shows glimpses of it.
8 minutes into the second half. It's game very much back on here at the AIS. Riley Ewan with the second goal of the campaign. And that's why we want to see her playing football in this league, Ian, because of moments like that. I'm sure Frank Keisha and Canberra Olympic could have done without it. But a super finish. Denton. Vanzino. Denton forward. That's got in between the defence. Cerner made the run forward to keep it in from the fullback position. Might be caught out now. Here's Riley McQueenie to put it into that position from where she's come from, Berkeley.
Good defending. Good defending, Maddie Keisha, because if that forward pass goes there on the break, and there could be almost through on goal, but that's, talk about defensive work rate as a forward. That's brilliant from Maddie Keisha.
good football all round, wasn't it? Because EJ Norris from Croatia recognised the gap and had made that run into that position. And as you say, Maddie Cation made sure it didn't get there. Gurney. That's a lovely ball over the top as well. Was framed for Vanzino. Might come here for Cation with a brilliant finish.
What a goal.
Wonderful finish. Spotted the goalkeeper off her line. And the finish was unerring. And Canberra Olympic have their 2-goal lead back.
Well, first of all, the pass into that space behind the back line was excellent, but the composure, the recognition of where the goalkeeper was, you know, there was commentary last night about players being world-class, wasn't there? Well, I mean, let's take a look at that. That is brilliant from Maddie Cation.
A finish of the highest quality from the midfielder. Just lifted it over the goalkeeper. Not a prayer for Ellie Summers. And within a couple of minutes of conceding, they're back to 3-1. And it was a beauty. And a couple of changes as well. Liv Gurney and Natalia Cern have made way. Sienna Burney and Taylor Hampson have come on. Nice time to make a couple of changes when you've just scored again. And that's a killer for Missy Alongo, isn't it? See your team back into it, Ian, and then you concede something like that. The ball from Gurney was top class, wasn't it?
Well, it totally contradicts what I said, because I said the team would get the next goal might go on and win it. And no, they popped him off at the other end and gone and got the third. And credit to Frank Cation and his team, who, when conceding, got himself straight back on the attack again. And not only did she defend to stop a counter-attack from Canberra Croatia, Maddie Cation, but then she makes a forward attack and run herself, and what a finish that was.
If you look back at that as well, you'll see Liv Gurney point in that general direction where she wants it, where she wants to put it, for someone to make the run, and was waiting to do so.
Well, Gurney's decision-making and distribution of crosses and forward passes was fantastic in the first half, and she's just shown again how good she is at doing that.
And the finish was top draw. Of the very highest quality indeed. Jensen. Space out wide for Miro. Almost slides one through. The exuberance of youth, though, Ian, as well, to recognise the opportunity. How many players do you know would have tried to bring that down from Maddie Cation? Taylor Hampson's going to get a yellow card here. Would have tried to bring that down and take it on. Not a thought in her mind other than finishing.
Honestly, it's what sometimes differentiates a good player from a great player. That just having that knowledge, that wisdom, and that bravery just to execute what's a fantastic delivery. Just find the time and just pop it over the keeper's head.
Never mind the technique to actually make it happen.
Oh, fabulous.
Palombi's free kick. Miro away. Burney tried to help it on. Only played it into the path of Palombi, who wants to go left-footed. Charged down by Miro. Alves forward. Was seeking Cation. Here's Palombi. Can't squeeze it past Miro. Gets a second bite of it with the help of Thornton, I think it was. And here's Babach in the area. A real schoolyard scramble. And in the end, Olympic just hack it clear. Might have been Jensen. It's going to come back. Mercurius. Ewan, Norris, good challenge, Hampson. 3 red shirts converge on Taylor Hampson as she finds the ball for Burney. Marzi, Burney for the return. Vanzino's busting her gut to get into the middle. Hampson's continued her run forward. Here she is, the substitute, and gets her shot away as well. Nice break. Now Hampson's out of position and Jamie Berkeley's filled in down here. 4-on-4 at the back at the moment.
Great forward play.
Ewan finds Barach, and there is Berkeley into that gap that Hampson left behind. McQueenie is the target in the middle. It's going to come all the way through to Palombi.
Yeah, what a goal.
And Canberra Croatia are backing it again. And Britt Palombi has her say. And on the hour, well, what a contest this is turning out to be. Olympic 3, Croatia 2.
Well, one of the most impressive things of what both teams have done all night is time after time after time is the quality of deliveries, the early balls across the box with real precision, that channel of uncertainty as it goes behind the back line and the goalkeeper. And if it does miss the striker, then, you know, you've got the likes of Britt Palombi coming in at the far post and that composed finish past Janet King. But it's time after time, the deliveries all evening have been excellent.
And how good has it been to see players recognise the space on a football field, Ian? Hampson had made the run forward. Berkeley saw the gap there and was just waiting for it to be put into that position. And again, the cross was excellent. McQueenie couldn't quite get there. Janet King caught in two minds. Decided to come and then stopped. Might not have got there either way.
Well, that's why it's called the channel of uncertainty, isn't it? You don't know whether the back line can stop it or the keeper can come and get it. And it's just a perfect ball across the box. So inviting.
Turning into some contest, this one, isn't it? As we hoped it might be. Still got half an hour of it to play.
I think from a neutral perspective, Russ, you just look out there on the pitch and there's just so much quality with both teams.
And as you mentioned, when the goal went in for 2-1, feels like it could go either way. Now it's gone 3-2, same thing. Denton. Good space for Vanzino again. Ball through's good again. Keisha couldn't quite take it in her stride. Norris will tidy up. Summers away. Berkeley couldn't get it under control, but does win it back again and can break. Looking for Ewan. Went for the early ball, didn't quite come off.
Good positioning from Kat Perich. Just covered around the defenders really well.
Norris has been beaten to it. Vanzino. Keisha's making the run outside. And it's opened the way for Jane Vanzino to go in field. And she'll have a go as well. Been countless shots, hasn't there, tonight? So much hard work. Riley Ewan stuck in again. Going to pick herself up a yellow card here, the striker. Riley Ewan.
I think it's a little bit careless from her. It probably warrants the yellow card. I'm not too sure whether the shouts of what we're hearing to our left are accurate whatsoever in a competitive battle and what Riley Ewan brings.
It's a challenge for the ball that was mistimed, was it not?
Yep.
The yellow card, the correct outcome. Corinne Denton with the free kick. Shots on target that came up on your screen a moment ago showed 11. 6 for Olympic, 5 for Croatia. A free kick almost found its way through to Vanzino. Barach finds Palombi, who, when that ball came across the 6-yard box and it fell to that left foot, well, there was only ever going to be one outcome. And as has happened over 200 times before, that outcome was the ball in the back of the net. Barach.
Good play again.
McQueenie finds Norris. Challenge back from Bernie. Got an appreciative cheer from the Olympic fans.
Good recovery run, wasn't it, from Sienna Burney? Track to player. EJ Norris just wondering whether it was a foul or not, but I think she got a touch on it, didn't she?
Looked all right from where I was. More importantly, looked all right from where Ricardo Alberto, our match official, was. Norris with the throw. Pelic away. "20 minutes of the second half played. Ewan teases one back for Norris to lift it in. It's a difficult one, but it'll drop on the roof of the nets. This is Olympics' 9th home match of the season. If you can count this one as a home match at the AIS, it is technically their home game. They've won 5, lost 3 of those. Canberra Croatia will be turning to the bench very shortly. Looks like Ellie Raymond going through the paces on the far side. Marzi did well to win it. Bernie, first time ball, flags up.
Just went a little bit too early.
Does feel like a cup tie, doesn't it? In that both sides desperate to get out there and get the win.
Yeah, it looks like there's a change about to happen on the far side for Canberra Croatia as well.
Ball over the top as free. Palombi again. Flag stays down. McQueenie in the middle is the target. Denton got there. As I mentioned, I think it's Ellie Raymond getting ready. Interesting to see what the change is. They probably won't make it on this corner. Britt Palombi will take. Delivery's good into the middle. King tries to get there, can't get there. Is it forced in? It might be now, but the whistle has gone. As it fell to Bella Balac, who was about to unleash one. Ricardo Alberto's whistle had stopped it. King's got to send away very quickly indeed. Bernie's found Jensen.
It's a great turn, and I don't know why the crowd are moaning, because the team's got the ball, they're on the attack. Do they want the ref to stop the game and just give a free kick and get all the Canberra Croatia players back?
Well, they might now. They might now, because it's gone out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, give a free kick now, 10 seconds after the foul happened.
Mate, we watched the rugby union. They have like about 35-second advantage rule, don't they? It goes forward for quite some time. Is it Riley McQueenie who's going to come off on this near side?
Yeah, I think that's been absolutely great this evening. I thought she's worked her socks off, and I feel a bit sorry that she's actually come off the pitch. But anyway, they've gone with Ellie Raymond, who's probably a like-for-like swap.
Very experienced.
To come out onto the right-hand side.
Another former A-League player herself, Ellie Raymond, was with Canberra United quite some time ago now. 78 National Premier League appearances to her name with this one added to the list. And she's going to get half a half to affect proceedings. Berkeley only found Vanzino, stopped by Mercurius, one back by Peric. And then there's a little coming together off the ball with Mercurius and Vanzino. And there's a yellow card for Sophia Mercurius. Free kick to Canberra Olympic.
I missed that. I'm sorry. I couldn't actually say what happened there.
They ran into each other. You can watch the here you go. You can, if you watch this is just a bit delayed for you, and you can have a look at it and make your own mind up before I tell you what I thought happens. There was a coming together between the pair of them. They ran into each other, and then as Jane Vanzino went to run past Sophia Mercurius, she stuck her leg out and tripped her up.
Okay.
And it results in a free kick for Corinne Denton.
Pretty silly thing to do, really, isn't it? Puts her team in a very sticky spot, really. A shot at target here is going to cause Ellie Summers some issues.
Well, if it goes in, it's even worse from a Croatia perspective, of course. Denton's over it, might fancy it, does have a go. Should be easy for Summers and is.
Yeah, comfortable from Ellie Summers. That's going to cause problems.
Well, Alves got there first. Marzi's putting the pressure on Boots. Not once, but twice. Good press, but Boots did well.
Looks like another change on the far side for Canberra Croatia. And it looks like, I thought Riley Ewing was heading off, but no.
It's Tiana Boots, I think, is it? from the left full-back role. It's coming off, and I think Hannah Burke is replacing her.
Tiana's got the ball in her hand. Looks like Lulu Coleman.
With Coleman, in fact, yeah. They both been over there, were talking about the throw, weren't they? And in the end, one of them's been taken off. That would make sense, Coleman being the central partner. Hannah Burke, another very experienced player. Boots launches the throw for Barach. Twisting and turning, wins a free kick.
Yeah, it's good refereeing that. He's gone to see how long that they niggle away at Isabella for, and they found that in the end she couldn't go much further and give a free kick. Again, in a dangerous position for Olympic this time.
Several hacks at the ankle. Just pick which one you want to take for the free kick. Palombi, well, the angle's acute. Plenty of red shirts on the far post to hit.
Well, you'd usually have a right footer with an in-swinger here, but we know Palombi takes all the set pieces, and we know also she's very good at them.
And might cause Janet King some issues should she fire this towards goal. And in the end, it was neither shot nor across, and doesn't help her team in the slightest. Three goals to two. Entertaining Wednesday night football for you. Ellie Raymond's first chance to get involved. Trying to find Ewan. It would be an Olympic ball.
Well, Ellie Raymond doesn't agree with that call from Andrew Forster.
Jensen, Hampson forward, won by Norris. Squeezes it through for Ewan, who bends one towards that far post, always wide of the goal. Easy for Janet King in the end.
It's that little turn and shot that Olympic need to be careful of, though. You know, Ewan scored a great goal doing it not so long ago, and tries to get one off again. Then
Saskia Newman, Letitia Babic, Angelina Babic left on the bench for Croatia in terms of outfield options. Nikita Perry, Tia Burridge, the outfield options for Olympic. Might see them take some part in the final 20 minutes. Be curious ball forward. Ewan's touch finds Thornton. Raymond, Norris. Lifted in, Perich won it. Now Vanzino can burst forward. Miro to the right, look to go to the left to Keisha, who got there. Well done by Mercurius. Nice turn by Raymond.
Good defended by Mercurius.
Still Ellie Raymond goes past Hampson. Looks for Ewan. Barach. Fed to Marzi doing the defensive work. Vanzino. Miro. Alves. Return ball not accurate enough. Canberra Croatia. They've been knocking on the door since they got back to 3-2. That ball over the top almost. Had Marzi in. Hannah Burke with a good bit of defensive work. Does it feel for you, Ian, that Croatia might grab an equaliser here?
Not at the moment, because she's offside. But you can't not say they might do, can you? Just because of how open the game's been. It's such an entertaining game of such good quality that either side is still going to get the chances to get a goal, because they're both going for it.
Does feel like there might be another goal in this contest. As we stand, Canberra Olympic moving to 30 points above Canberra Croatia. They've played a game more. Wouldn't be the end of the world for Croatia in terms of finishing second. Busy couple of weeks for those in Reds. They've got matches against Madura to fit in, a couple of those. Gungahlin United as well, final week of the season, midweek that will be, before the last round of the campaign. Madikesha.
That little pocket again behind the striker.
Nice turn for Vanzino, almost slid it through. Playing Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday for the next 3 weeks, like being back at home for you, isn't it? Like the final games of the season.
Love that. Tell the season's coming to an end with the fixture pile up.
And training will be more about recovery, recuperation and preparation.
That's right, just keeping the team together and making sure that everybody's fit and well and ticking over. Tightening up on the tactical side of things, but you don't generally get too many fitness sessions and technical sessions at this time of year.
You don't really need them, do you?
You shouldn't have to at this time of the season, no.
If you're not fit this time of the year, barring the odd player coming back from injury, you're never going to be. And there's a little bit of hands over on that far side. Mentioned it was slightly feisty towards the end at Deakin Stadium, Ian. A couple of times we've seen it tonight again. Two teams really committed to try and get the points. Yeah,
exactly, and it's all part of wanting to be a competitive young footballer, isn't it?
Plombita swinging into the area. Miro. Turns away. Plenty of red shirts back. Canberra Olympic dropping a bit deep here, Ian. Is that by design or by the fact that Canberra Croatia are pushing them back that deep?
I think they're being pushed back. I don't think they'd be willing to. But it looks conscious, doesn't it? But I'm not sure that Frank Keisha would be asking that. But Tiana Miro's almost at right back there, and
there's not much of an outlet, is there, when they're that deep? Maybe they're playing in transition like now.
And they can attack at pace, can't they? We know that. So, but yeah, good patience from Madikesha because she didn't have anybody.
And Miro sends it long, and a chance for Bernie, and got it horribly wrong.
So initially, Madikesha didn't have anybody ahead of her, so patience on the ball to create that attack, which they played wide, and then Bernie just needed a bit more composure. Change for Canberra Olympic.
Waiting to make that change. Nikita Perry. Norris. Raymond. Crossing opportunity. Meat and drink for Janet King, or in Ian's case, chicken and potato.
It's comfortable, wasn't she? Technically sound.
Very much behind the ball. Time the enemy for Canberra Croatia if they're to get back into this. Marzi, Miro. Good run forward again from Tate and Marzi. Runs it out of play though.
I think it's Tiana Miro, is it coming off?
It looks that way. And Perry will go into that wide forward role. Seems a long time ago now that Tiana Miro scored those 2 goals within 60 seconds or so of each other. The first to well take a penalty, the second sensational finish into the top corner. Since then, Canberra Croatia threatened to get back into it, did, then conceded, and then did again, which has left us with this neatly balanced scenario with just over 10 minutes to go of Olympic 3, Croatia 2. Raymond hooked forward. I'll be curious, looking for Norris. Might have come off the arm of Bernie, but Barach can clip one over the top, and Riley Ewan takes it into her stride. Was she brought down in the box? And it's a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Kat Peric caught her. Was it inside the area is the question, and that's the answer we will get here. I felt he pointed to the spot momentarily. Now, was it outside, Ian?
There's an issue here for Kat Peric that if it's not a penalty, it's a professional foul. And therefore, it would be a red card.
It could be. I mean, either way, if it's a yellow, she will be suspended, I believe, for a fourth yellow. They're having this discussion now on this near side with Andrew Forster and Ricardo Alberto about whether it was inside the box or outside the box. And this is where having those lines, which we can't see, Ian, makes it very difficult indeed. My initial gut reaction was it might have been a penalty.
I've made comments about the quality of the lines before, so from here, I can't see whether that box is inside or outside.
Well, we can't, can we? And we will find out very soon what Ricardo Alberto, our match official, is ordering here. I think it's a free kick. And here comes the card. It's yellow to Riley Ewan for handball. That's his second yellow for her, if that's the case. And Riley Ewan's going to be sent off for some reason here. And Kat Peric gets a yellow as well. Is that a second yellow for Ewan? I think it might be. She already booked her earlier on. I'm a bit perplexed as to what that yellow's for. Ian? Well, the referee hasn't noticed it's a second yellow for Riley Ewan. He's definitely given her one there.
He gave her one for the challenge on the halfway line before.
He did.
The crowd are suggesting that it's had a yellow already.
Well, she's given a second yellow. If that was in Riley Ewan's direction, which I believe it may have been.
It looked like it was.
Unless he got it wrong in the first instance.
The crowd are actually right here.
They are right. Free kick is the upshot, and we will come back and visit this if that's the case. Britt Palombi will fancy this with the left foot. Clumpers it over the wall. But the question is now, surely, if you're a Canberra Olympic player, I can only assume that he's pointed it in the general direction and realised it's not her. And only given her the one. That's all I can see. I believe he's given it to the wrong person in the first instance. And he was pointing it towards Peric. And that's where we're at, I think, Ian.
I think that's the answer to that, yes.
Anyway, a bit of dramatic stuff. Ewan's got there first, slides it across for Palombi. Defending is good.
Amazing defending from Canberra Olympic.
We'll check. I can chat with Ricardo Alberto afterwards and see exactly what that was about, but I believe that's where we were at in that situation.
Andrew Forster was the guy on the near side here to our right that suggested that the foul was outside of the box.
And that's fine. We can't see the lines, can we? Great ball in from Palombi. Nodded down in front of goal. Needed a touch, didn't get one. Nothing like a little bit of drama, is there?
No, I don't. Look, the incident is gone now. Kat Peric will be suspended for the next game.
Well, Perry's putting the pressure on.
I'm just wondering if we're to watch that back again, which we get the chance to and the referee doesn't, if it's considered that it stops a goal-scoring opportunity, is that not a red card for Peric? And
they take into consideration, of course, whether or not she's made a genuine attempt to play the ball.
Okay.
And that's always quite rather subjective, isn't it?
Mm.
And then obviously, from their point of view, they must have said, yes, she did.
To Kat Peric's credit, the amount of times that ball's gone in behind and she's the player who's covered and stopped Riley Ewan going forward has now been numerous.
Here's Ewan again. Whips that across. He's going to go out for a throw, I think, on that far side. With a goal kick, in fact. So, yeah, difficult to see, difficult one to unpack that, wasn't it? Was it in? Was it out? Was there an attempt at the ball? Who got a card? Who didn't get a card? Upshot of it all was much ado about nothing, Ian, because it's still 3-2.
Well, that's the outcome, isn't it?
Norris, Ewan. defensive work. Raymond couldn't get it under control. I've had a message saying that for someone's perspective, it was either a penalty or a red card, one or the other. But it's hard to say with the, can't see the lines, can we?
It's hard to say if it's the rule.
Well, I mean, like I said,
isn't that the rule? It's either a penalty or a red card.
Well,
I think the person who sent you that, which you've not told me, I think they're pretty accurate, you know.
Again, though, the subjective part of it is the genuine attempt at playing the ball. That's the problem that you have in that blurry grey area. If you want to make it that, you went around the top, and you could debate it for quite some time, Ian.
You can't, because Kat Perrich will say she went to play the ball, and Riley Ewan will say she should have been red carded because they're on separate teams. So, if that's subjective, you've got two players will argue that regardless, and I don't blame them, to be honest. I'd do the same.
Well, and the two people that matter, though, are the ones in the fluoro yellow, who between them decided that was not twixt or tween, but neither or. And off we go. One to be debated long into the night, no doubt, depending on what colour you prefer. Canberra Croatia going to the bench again. EJ Norris is coming off on this near side, having run her race for the evening. Canberra Croatia Olympic also making a change. Tia Burridge has come on. Angelina Babic was the change for Croatia. I didn't see who wandered off because I was looking at my notes for Tia Burridge.
27?
Went off.
Sat down.
Who's 27? Oh, Taylor Hampson. The sub's been subbed, it would seem. Palombi pulls one back, and a first chance for Ewan to have another pop from the edge of the box.
She had more time than she gave herself credit for there. Riley Ewan
didn't hit it anywhere near as well as she would have wanted to. Here's Burke sending it forward. It's a sore one in backfield. I think Leonana Alves tweaked something as she went to play that. Ian, out of our shots.
Just looking here, right in front of us,
Tia
just to the
Burridge,
right.
sorry. Might have been injured herself. That's a foul by Sienna Burney. There was Alves who tweaked herself. Sienna Burney gets a card.
I like that. I like that. Good spirit of the game. They're both competitive. They both go in. Burney's got there a bit later. Fouls her, and they both just start chuckling at each other. Absolutely great.
Hannah Burke will take the free kick. And will look to send it into a crowded penalty area. With that left foot, drops it into the box. Babic makes herself a nuisance. Ewan tries to bulldoze her way through. Comes out for Berkeley. Nick could go anywhere off of Perrich. Falls kindly for Janet King. There's a firm challenge to win it back.
Well, Janet King put it in between the two of them, didn't she?
Palombi's ball into the area. King wins it back. There's an injury over on that far side. So time very much against Canberra Croatia. 90 seconds remaining plus whatever will happen. Taylor Hampson's over on that far side, mate. So it can't have been 27 who went off. In the end. By the way.
Again, they had more time.
I think it was Tatum Marzi who went off, isn't it?
I think it was Tatum Marzi.
Here's Bernie to have a go. And he summers away. They've had to do some defending tonight, Canberra Olympic, to hold on to this if they are to get the 3 points. Mercurius looking for Babic. Raymond. Ewan tried to play it first time. Perry just pops it forward.
Yeah, it was a tired pass, as hard as she's worked tonight. Riley Ewan.
And Nikita Perry has gone into the bench. Picks herself up off the ground as the clock ticks over to 90 minutes.
Yeah, it was her own momentum, wasn't it, and hard work that took her into the bench, and she's ended up winning a throw for a team as well.
This stage of the game, that's as good as it gets, isn't it? Just to keep it away from your own goal. As long as you can. Boots will throw it forward for Croatia, helped on by Ewan. Barrett has stolen in behind. Vanzino tracked the runner. Palombi from deep. Worked this way to Mercurius. Berkeley, who hit the crossbar in the first stanza. Ewan tries to spin away from Peric.
Good defending again, Kat Peric.
Might be a chance for Tia Burridge. Sienna Burney. Nikita Perry. Stepped in, Burke. Raymond's. Burke again. Tiana Boots. Plenty of grass to run into. Colombi tried to force it forward. Barat went to ground to win the ball. And did, but had to go through Vanzino, I think it was, to get there.
Yeah, she got the ball eventually, but I think she stopped Vanzino in her tracks at the same time beforehand.
And this is just what Canberra Olympic will want. Free kick that they can send as far away from their own goal. Not the best of free kicks, so it's giving the ball straight back to Canberra Croatia, and it didn't go very far at all. Ewan tries to turn. Burridge will chase. Raymond will get there first. Mercurius. Berkeley. Clips one towards Palombi. Stretch of the leg was from Hampson. Here's Palombi to turn. Well, one back. Brilliant run forward as well. And stopped. Elise Jensen put the hammer down for a moment. Now Ewan might be in behind. King's come to reach it. It's a good run at this stage of the game for Elise Jensen.
Can't be too long left now. It's a big ask.
We've played nearly 3 minutes of time added on.
Good play, Canberra Croatia.
Barac, is there one final chance for Croatia? Raymond, the long way round. Peric took it off the toe of Riley Ewan as she took a massive swing. Babic has won it back. Thornton. Mercurius.
Yeah, it's a good decision. The ball's got to start to go into the box now.
Babic. Peric at the stretch. Thornton. Perry for company, who does well to rob Michaela Thornton and could set off for the hills. Boots steps across though, and still we go. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time played. Mercurius. Raymond. Mercurius got there first and needed to. Denton has got Babic closing her down. Berkeley's touching field. Vanzino's there. One back by Barac. Berkeley, who created one from this kind of angle. And the ball to the near post is easy for King as Vanzino goes down with cramp.
And that might just do it.
Well, into the 5th minute of time added on. all the players put real effort in. King to send it away. Volleyed forward by Burridge. Keisha, Burney, and that'll do, says Ricardo Alberto. He brings this contest to an end, and an epic one it was as well, Ian Worthington. It was a top quality watch from start to finish, and in the end, it's Canberra Olympic who've got themselves 3 valuable points.
Well, first of all, 2 very, very good teams with so many good players on show this evening. The quality of football was great. The pace, the intensity, it was exciting. What a fabulous game of football.
Very, very good indeed. Thanks very much for joining us tonight, Ian. It was a game in which Canberra Olympic scored twice within 90 seconds in the first half. Tiana Miro from the penalty spot, and then the second, a thumping finish into the top corner. Canberra Croatia got themselves back with a wonderful goal from Riley Ewan, only for Maddie Keisha to respond in kind about 90 seconds later again with a superb lob to make it 3-1. Britt Palombi's finish made it 3-2 on the hour, which meant that towards the end, with 23 shots between them, Croatia just edging it 12 shots to 11. But that's not what matters. What matters is the final score. So from myself, Russ Gibbs, Ian Worthington, Michael on camera, thanks again for a great job, and everyone on the production team. Hope you enjoyed the match tonight. The OPC NPL final score here at the AIS is Canberra Olympic 3, Canberra Croatia 2.